Good morning. It's Friday morning, August the 12th, about just a little after 9 o'clock in the morning local time. I'm going to be pulling out of Skist Provincial Park this morning in about an hour or so, and basically just go back the same route that I brought up here, Highway 1, down through Chilliwack to Abbotsford, and then turn south at Abbotsford and head across the U.S.-Canadian border. Had a wonderful time here. It's a really nice park. I highly recommend anybody that's in I guess it'd be the southwestern part of Canada, come up in these mountains and check out some of these places. And this particular park is just like a little hidden gem. It has not been busy at all while I've been here, and they've got half of the park closed to RV traffic, I guess because maybe this time of the year they just don't get that busy, and they don't want to have to maintain the whole park when they're not using half of it. So anyway, been a nice day. Got some decent hiking in yesterday. It's been nice looking at the mountains. I don't know if it was because I knew I was going to be leaving today, but I had the best tasting hamburger on the grill last night, man. I'll tell you, it really tasted good for being ground beef. And we'll see. I'll probably have one of those again tonight or tomorrow night in the States. We'll see if it tastes as good or not. It's a beautiful morning. It's going to get hot today, though. It got into the low 90s yesterday, which was a little uncomfortable in the camper. I do have my air conditioning installed now, but ironically, I'm dry camping right now, so I don't have electricity and I cannot run the air conditioner, so I'm back to using the fans. And it's supposed to be even hotter today. Probably going to get up around 95 here, which I guess is pretty typical. Even though I'm in the mountains and there's a ton of pine trees and stuff, it still gets pretty darn warm, and it's fairly dry here. So I got to get the heck out of here. I don't think I can handle 95 to 100 degree day right now. I'm gonna get out of here while it's still cool, and I'm actually going to head back to the same park I stayed at before I came across the border, Hidden Village RV Park and Campground or something like that. I got a space reserved there for tonight and tomorrow night, and it's supposed to be cool there. I mean, it's going to be in the 70s, so that should be comfortable, and I'll have electricity so I can run my air if I wanted to. So I'm going to stay there a couple days, get caught up on some things, and really the big thing will be start planning the rest of my trip home. I've not really done that. I've got some general thoughts, but I gotta check forecast weather and what the heat's going to be and that kind of stuff. And everybody, I've had people, oh, you got to go over to the coast. You got to run down the coast. It's so pretty, and I'm sure it is. But I've had other people say, oh, you got to go see this and you got to go see that, and which is in the interior of like Washington State and Oregon. In fact, I met a gentleman this morning. He was pulling out. I think he was from Calgary, but he had done some vacationing and stuff like that down in the northwestern part of the U.S., and he was telling me about a place called Crater Lake, which apparently is an extinct volcano. And when it died, the lava kind of sealed the crater and created a basin, and it's a huge lake now. And he said that's a must see, and it's somewhere He didn't remember exactly where it was. It's in Oregon, but it's somewhere on the line between Spokane, Washington, and San Francisco. He remembered that was his route, and it wasn't too far off of that. So I have to go see if I can find it, because that sounds really cool. That kind of was my plan, was not to necessarily go to the coast this time, but to stay in the interior and check out some of the volcanoes and stuff. You know, Mount Rainier there, Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, which is there, and I've seen, you know, some recent video of people that have been there, and it looks really cool. So I don't know. I'll have to check it out if I can take, if I have time, that I can take a couple of days and head, you know, get south of Seattle and all that mess, and get over to the coast and spend a day or two, and then drive back into the interior. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just touch the coast and you know, check it out. I'm sure it's beautiful, and then head back inland and do those other things, and then a future adventure will be running down the west coast. So, because there's a lot of nice parks and stuff along there, I hear. And just kind of soaking it in. It's in the 60s right now. It gets cool at night here. It got down into the low 60s. I actually got cold. It was hot a little. It was a little warm in the camper when I went to bed, and so I left the roof fan on to pull some cool air in, and I got cold in the night and had to throw the covers on, and then I had to get up and turn the roof fan off because it got down into the low 60s. So, and it's just freaking wonderful here right now. It's still in the 60s. Bright sunny day. I don't see, yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky, and that means it's going to get hot later on, of course, but just a nice morning to be here. Bernie's digging it. She's laying in the dirt. That silly dog. I'll tell you what. We got back from hiking yesterday, and she was hot, of course. And she spent the rest of the day. She spent literally all afternoon laying in the dirt underneath the camper. For some reason, the dirt underneath the camper is cooler than the dirt that's in the shade that's not underneath the camper. I don't get it, but I'm not a dog, so uh, so much for that $55 bath that I had her given at PetSmart the other day. Um, Silly dog. She was wore out, man. She just laid under there. I don't think she came out all day. It was evening before she came out. So this morning she's just kind of laying in the dirt in general. She's not underneath the camper yet, but she's still laying in the dirt. I guess the dirt's cooler than this ground cover thing that I throw out here that wouldn't cause her to get all dirty if she laid on it. So, oh well. All right, man. Well, I think I'm going to shut up and take my time loading the rest of the stuff up, get hooked up, and get on the road. I got a couple 3 hours of driving today, so it's not going to be that much, but I want to get across the border before it stacks up on a Friday afternoon with people, doing whatever they do to cross the border during the day. So I don't want to be caught in a long line there. So I'll catch you back in the U.S.